Well, Jan, thank you for coming today. I really appreciate you taking the time. We're here talking and celebrating GBBR 150th anniversary and the legacy we have. As a past president and someone very active, I want you to take us back to what you remember your first real estate transactions to be like. What was it like on that first time? Do you remember it?
Oh, yes. In fact, the people that I sold my very first home to, I'm working with now to sell them another home. And we looked at 4 homes. And that's when I found out that what you necessarily read is not what you see. And for instance, one of the homes said that it had a stove, and the stove was a gas line hooked up to an hibachi grill. And I said, oh, welcome to Real Estate 101. So yes, I remember it very well. And I guess the best thing about it was contracts were 1 page, not 48 pages like we have today.
Times have changed a good
Definitely,
bit.
definitely.
Now, as a past president, if you can take us back to when you were president, what kind of things were happening in the board, in the community, in the industry that you can remember sort of was part of your term as president?
Well, I think I was very blessed because I was president in 2003, 2004, and we were in our heyday. We had gone through an economic slowdown in the 90s, and then all of a sudden in around 2002, things just picked up and went bananas. We had a lot of activity. Probably in the board, the hardest thing is everybody was so busy trying to get volunteers to do things. But I find that realtors are very giving people, and if you put the call out, they'll heed, and they came.
Well, they also follow good leadership too. So you, in order to elicit people to volunteer, being able to demonstrate that certainly goes a long way. When you think about some of the people who are new in the business or just coming or contemplating the business, what advice would you offer someone trying to get started in the business at this time?
Get all the education you can get. Be a sponge. Just absorb, absorb, absorb. This is a great time to learn. When I got in the business, I didn't think interest rates did anything but go up. And I was learning the whole time, and I was looking at agents in my office who were sitting there looking at the phone and it wasn't ringing. And I finally got my nerve up one day and asked one of them, why do you constantly look at the phone? And she wasn't doing anything. And she said, well, I'm waiting for it to ring. And I said, oh, aren't we supposed to be making the phone calls to make it ring? And that's what you need to do. It's a little different today because of do not call and things like that, but if you do the basics, and that's what I'm constantly telling new agents in my office, do the basics, stay in touch with your sphere of influence, the business will come.
Great, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, as you know, we, about 10 years ago, GBBR established a foundation, long overdue for us, and
Yes.
Even before that, many people from GBBR were involved in many, many things. Certainly, your involvement with Habitat and so many other organizations is really legendary for GBBR. What do you think, and what do you say about the foundation? How do you excite or engage people to be involved with the foundation?
Well, I do it through actions, basically. Habitat, as you said, I'm not one of those people that just writes a check. I actually build. I not only build in Maryland, I build out of state. And it's through that process people say, oh my gosh, she actually walks what she talks. And I find that to be the best way to get people involved. There are ways that obviously we're not reaching the community at this point, and I'm not sure what the best thing to do other than I think the 150th is bringing us full circle. And hopefully we'll have more people that realize what this foundation does and how many people we do help. And that's what we need to do as agents, as realtors. We need to give back to this community because it's given us so much.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time, and I really wish you all the best.
Thank you.